Oh my God, you
Hello.
guys.
Hi.
It's episode 3. No, not 3. What am I doing? I'm
We're
going
like
back in
way before
time.
that. Oh my God,
Yeah.
you're going back in time.
It's episode 7.
Is it really?
Yes. We take a lot of breaks between our podcasts.
You know what? It's exhausting talking about nothing.
But that's the thing. We are switching it up. We have opinions. We are ready to give them. We are going to have topics now. Like today's topic, we are actually going to discuss The Last Showgirl.
Yes, starring Pamela Anderson.
So now we don't have to talk about nothing. We have stuff to talk about.
And boy, do we have a lot to talk about because we saw this in theaters and honey,
Yes.
it was an experience.
I actually have 2 different opinions of this movie. First opinion is going to be me as a viewer.
Yeah.
Second opinion is going to be me in showbiz.
Oh.
So
multifaceted. I love that. So we should make our little announcements first before we get
Yes.
into anything. So you guys, I hate to break it to you, but we're moving. Yeah, we're moving again. I'm so sorry, but yeah, we have to move this podcast to Jaymes Mansfield too. That's what's happening.
Yes. As of now, the live taping is still going to be under Jaymes Mansfield's main channel. If you're in the membership section, so you
Yes.
join in. But we are going to be distributing it to Jaymes Mansfield's 2 YouTube channel. It's still going to be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
I mean, to give them that behind the scenes inside the like Hollywood studio kind of like information that they crave and they love, you know, they love it. They yearn for it. Think of it as like we're a big, like we're Viacom and we're deciding, well, it wasn't really doing it for VH1. So we're going to move it to MTV2. That's what's happening right now.
MTV Tres.
Ooh, yeah. We'll dub it in Spanish. I love it.
Also, I lost my train of thought.
Oh, did you have something else that you had to like mention? I thought the move was like the big notice.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Let's just get into it.
So yeah, without further ado, let's talk about the film that's getting rave reviews right now, The Last Showgirl.
Before we start, to the people who don't know about The Last Showgirl, do you want to give them like a breakdown or a synopsis?
Oh, sure. Okay, so The Last Showgirl stars Pamela Anderson in what people are calling a career-defining role as a showgirl in Las Vegas who is in the last, very, very, very last showgirl show. A dying art form and truly like a dead art form now. Her show closes, she gets very little notice, and now she has to pick up her life after 40 years of being a showgirl on the strip.
And that's basically the movie.
Yeah, and basically the wreckage that this career has left behind.
All right. So if you're here, I'm just going to assume you already watched the movie. I'm not going to get too much into like the recap of it all, but there will be spoilers.
We will definitely be talking about certain things and certain hype surrounding this film that I've questioned as a viewer.
So should I start off with my opinion?
Yeah, go into your opinion.
I have an opinion. I'm going to start with my first one as a viewer.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So as a viewer, I think the cast was amazing. I think the whole cast delivered. I really love Jamie Lee Curtis's performance, Pamela Anderson's performance, Dave Bautista's performance, the girl that plays Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You know, they all did their thing.
Wait, was that her?
Yes.
No way. Brenda Song was in it as the other girl in the show.
Yes, Brenda Song too, who's also dating the guy from...
Well, she's married to him.
She's married to the guy that from Home Alone.
Macaulay Culkin.
I only know because they've been popping up on like my Instagram feed a lot. And I'm like, I don't even follow them, but they popped up.
Yeah, apparently it's like all anyone can talk about too. If you watch like interviews, like they cannot talk to her without mentioning him, which has to be a little annoying.
I know, because Brenda Song actually slayed it too. I'm telling you, everybody in this movie did well. The thing I had a problem with is the movie didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it was well shot. It was shot on film. Pamela Anderson was great in it, but I feel like a lot of the roles could have been, I'm going to say it, written better.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. Like, I question a lot of like the choices that were made because it was made in like 19 days. And watching, I was like, I can kind of tell. Was it written in less time as well? Like, were they writing it within those 19 days also? Because like a lot of things and a lot of plot threads were never like tied up at all. And here's the thing. It was a very good concept. I'll say that. And I feel like there's a lot more that could have been explored with the characters, especially with Pamela Anderson's. I feel like she was overwritten but underwritten, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense. Also, I feel like a lot of my disappointment as a viewer was that this movie was overhyped. Like, I was watching, people were like, oh my God, it's such a stellar film, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. It's so amazing based on like online critiques.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me check it out myself. So I saw it and I feel like I overhyped myself. And then when I watched it, like it kind of didn't go anywhere.
I feel like we both, having been very big Pamela Anderson fans since our youth, we got really excited to like see Pamela finally get a chance to like stretch her acting chops. Because I feel like a lot of her career has been like kind of stilted and haltered, and like she was boxed into a specific kind of character and a specific kind of role. So like watching all this amazing like interview footage and like sitting down and talking to her about her like technique and getting ready for this role, I was like, okay, she's about to act the house down. And like she does, but it's also, I can only imagine what it'd been like had she gotten better written material.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's just like she kind of just doesn't really have anything to do except kind of like walk around wallowing and feeling sorry for herself.
That's what. And also, it had a lot of shots of her just walking around, like in Las Vegas, and she was actually in like the dangerous parts of Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's like, how did they not get like mugged or robbed or have their film equipment stolen? They probably saw it was like actual film. I was like, oh, I can't sell that shit.
No, I can't. I don't even know how to use that.
How to even pawn that? Yeah, but maybe that's why they felt safe. It's like no one's gonna know how to get rid of this shit.
They're like, how am I gonna develop this? I don't even know.
Yeah, and like it was those random places too. It's like, where are you going? Like you're nowhere near anything. Like all these specific landmarks that are just like so far away and removed from each other. Like why would you even be walking around here?
Yeah. And like I said, this is no shade, but I did enjoy the film. I will watch it again. I will buy it because like I said, we are Pamela Anderson fans. And it's based in Las Vegas. We live in Las Vegas. I felt like there could have been more there. Like you watched an interview where the director said she didn't take anybody's input or something like that. Allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Like she wanted to like do a small production. And like apparently Pamela Anderson was even mentioning about this Gia Coppola where she didn't want anyone in Video Village. Like she wanted to like, do this all independently without any big like studio interruptions because she didn't want them to like interfere with her vision. But watching it, I'm just like, sweetheart. Honey, princess, I mean this in the nicest possible way. You could have had some input.
It's okay to have input.
It's fine. It's fine to have collaborators. This needed it. Like, especially if you're trying to tell like this big dramatic story about this woman's life falling apart. Some things need to get fleshed out. They needed to get fleshed out. And her supporting cast, I had to say, like, were trying their best with what little they had.
They all did great. I really think Jamie Lee Curtis stole the movie.
Well, how can't you? She got the most interesting character because her character was like messy and over the top and sloppy. And she got to be overly tan with a bad wig and a horrible makeup.
We're going to go into my second opinion.
Yeah.
But before we go into my second opinion, I think it's time for a shameless plug.
Now, I have to mention this because they sent me an email saying it behooved me to do so. Do you like my makeup today? I bet you do. I'm wearing kimchi chic makeup today. Yes, I have on my eyes the diamond eyeshadow palette, the little mini. Be sure and get that. Use my code Jaymes15 to get 15% off your purchase at checkout at Kimchi Chic Beauty. You won't regret it. Otherwise, stay ugly. I don't care. And do you like my hair? I bet you do. I'm wearing a custom styled wig from Jaymes Mansfield Beauty. Do you want to look beautiful? Do you want to be sickening? Do you want to be chic? Do you want to walk down the street and have people hate you? Get yourself a style wig from Jaymes Mansfield Beauty. They're premium, baby.
That's JamesMansfieldBeauty.com.
It has been a minute since I've done that because I was rusty. Oh my gosh, like all my bits, I was like, what do I do again? I didn't realize it's been so long since we've done a podcast. Oh yeah, but so can I give my opinion?
Yes, go ahead.
Can I give mine? Okay, so my opinion on this is this needed some serious rewriting. It needed some serious rewrites. I can tell it was probably a third or fourth draft. It needed at least 4 more before it was actually put to film. Because Pamela Anderson's character needed more fleshing out. Her daughter's character, played by Billie Lourd, another iconic actress of a legacy, like she had a thankless part as her just bitter, bewildered daughter who was lost through life. who I think was a lesbian. I couldn't tell. You didn't know what she was. All you know is that she was just completely over her mother. And we never really got much beyond that.
Well, we kind of did. She was mad as hell that she was left in the parking lot with a Game Boy while she was out there doing that show. And I guess when she finally saw the show, she wasn't impressed.
But also, I'm just like, knowing Las Vegas locals, like that sounds like a dream for a little kid. Like I get to go to a casino all night with a Game Boy. Like, have you seen Las Vegas school systems and school scores? Honey, she probably got a better education there than here.
That's the thing, not in the casino, out in the parking lot with the window cracked and a Game Boy.
She could have walked around. Just saying, that's your fault you stayed in the car. That's completely on you. All right? I don't feel bad for her whatsoever, little bitter pig-nosed bitch. But yeah, like, she was a crusty daughter. Like, she was so crunchy.
She was really mad. She was so mad.
I don't know. Her daughter, like, she smells like a pet owner. Like that house, it just smells like they have a lot of pets.
Hey, we're pet owners.
And my dog is a beautiful, clean baby that cleans himself. He's practically a cat. It just looked like she smelled like Cheez-Its. But I digress. Just to like get back on track. Yeah, it needed several rewrites, and it definitely needed just a bit of restructuring when it came to like just the story and its flow, and especially the end. The end, I was told, was supposed to be very, very uplifting and optimistic. It just kind of ended.
Yeah.
Like, she does the audition. We don't know the outcome. That's it. We don't know anything else that's going to happen in her life.
Are you ready for my second opinion, or do you want to keep adding on?
Oh, no. You can tell your opinion now.
All right, so now...
to your showbiz side.
My second opinion, now that I work in the Las Vegas showbiz, behind the scenes. I work behind the scenes, okay? I'm not a performer. But now that I see it, that I saw it in a different perspective, I thought about it in a different perspective. And I talked to some people that viewed it and that showbiz perspective. I kind of did like it. I liked it. Like...
You as showbiz Ernie liked it?
Showbiz Ernie liked it. Because, okay, at first, I kind of was being shady. I was like...
Oh, we were fully keying on it as soon as we got back to the apartment from watching it.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, I needed some rewrites and all that. And then when we were watching the movie, it's like, why doesn't she just get a job? We were thinking very Las Vegas loco. Like, why does
stop crying, bitch, and go get a job? God,
it was very Las Vegas local because everybody here that's in showbiz has like 3 jobs or like 3 hobbies or something. They have something that makes them money. Okay.
Yeah, especially living in Las Vegas, it's like, yeah, you get to do your little show for a few hours at night, but they're also going to go to their second job after that.
Some people, they literally do their show at night, then they do their waitressing in the morning at a brunch, and then they try to do that social media hustle.
Yeah. I think also what the film was trying to establish, which they did a little bit here and there, is that I guess Pamela's character was very pious and also just like kind of uppity when it came to like how important the show is and why it's such like a shot through the heart that something so classy and glamorous is getting taken away from them. But it's just like, you mean to tell me after 40 years on the strip, watching everything change, not even the 90s, you thought, well, maybe I should get like a second side hustle going.
Yeah. Like, girl, learn how to sew. I'm learning how to sew at the moment. And just like make showgirl costumes and sell them on the side.
I mean, I feel like the true story of this is like what happens with most showgirls is like you age out from the show and you eventually start working behind the scenes. Like you'll be a seamstress or one of the people that actually starts casting it. Like she had no upward trajectory considering she had so much experience and knowledge of the show.
But I guess where the film touches is that the show itself was closing, so she had no other place to go. She had no other experience. This is the only thing she knew. Now, I can't mention the name, but I work for a show here in Las Vegas that recently closed and moved to another building. There is a staff member there that was part of the building working for that show, but because our show closed after so many years, he no longer had that job because our show was moving and he's part of the casino. So he actually called out like 3 times. Like the last 3 shows he called out because he just couldn't say goodbye. He was so emotional because of the show closing there, which that put the movie into a different perspective to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you love a show so much, when you've been working in that show for like decades, once it's gone, all those memories you've had there, just reflect on them and you're sad that the show is closing.
Yeah, and it gave that perspective too. Like, I guess Pamela's perspective was the person that was just so married to the show, like it was her whole life. Whereas, like, they also got Brenda Song and the girl that played Sabrina, where it's just like this was just a job for them, and they came in right at the tail end when the show did not have the same luster and the same importance anymore. So it was like, okay, I'm just going to go on and do something else. I'm going to go to different auditions and book something new. Where I guess like that's probably where I am as far as going to Vegas goes. I'm not involved in like a legacy show or anything like that. Shows often come and go here all the time. Like the brunch I was at closed. So I'm just like, okay, I wasn't there forever. I was only there for like a year. So, okay, it didn't really have the same effect on me as it did other people.
I guess that's also us as people in the LGBTQIA plus community is that our shows typically don't stick around for that long.
No.
Or like a lot of gay bars are always closing. So I guess we kind of we're kind of like
Desensitized, yeah.
not as sensitive to shows closing because our shows close all the time.
Yeah, and it's like, especially when it comes to like, we're not really allowed to take risks or do anything like really out of the box. It has to be very, very safe, cookie cutter kind of shit. So like, when a show closes, it's like, well, we had our run. Okay, we made the most of what little time we actually had.
Like not even just like like shows like that shows, even like TV shows and stuff. Our shows get canceled all the time. Like,
oh yeah,
LGBTQ media is really hard to get made, and once it's being made, it really wants to get sanitized by the heterosexuals. So it's like, I guess that's why we weren't so sensitive because we're so used to restrictions and shows getting canceled all the time.
Well, when it comes to like gay media, like especially scripted media, I feel like one of the biggest things no one ever really addresses is how quickly our community turns their back on it if it doesn't meet all their expectations. Because it always has to walk a fine line of being digestible for every aspect. So like, it's not gay enough for the gays and it's too gay for the straights. Like you can never really win. Like for a recent example, like that AJ and the Queen show that we're a part of, it's just like people turn their backs on it and turned on it so quickly without even giving it a chance.
Gays don't support gays.
They don't support gays. It's a problem. It's a huge problem. It's just like you hate to see other gay people successful. And I don't get it. Because it's like it only opens up more opportunities and more work for people. Like the way I was so sad when I saw it got canceled. I was like, that's just more work drag queens aren't going to get. Because they were casting drag queens for it. And it was the only show that was seriously legitimately casting drag queens and roles that weren't insulting or were basically portraying them as what their careers are, which I thought was so disappointing that they canceled it so swiftly.
But yes, let's see what the chat is saying, the Wiglets are saying. Do you guys have opinions on this? Let's check it out. Let's look into the chat. Duke said, how did they make a film about Vegas showgirls without Jaymes?
My question exactly. Although this was a bit of a bummer. I'm glad I wasn't a part of it.
Cowgirl on Twitch said, oh yeah, this is also a Twitch subscriber exclusive live taping. I think it's because the media is controlled by the cishet straight people, you know. I wish we had more queer/trans folks at the upper level of production who make those calls of keeping shoes on. That part.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here's the thing, like, it's not for lack of trying. People have tried to get shows off the ground forever. It's just like when it comes to making a TV show, it's hard. And it's hard to get major media to believe in it and to think it could make them money, which is the most important thing. The gay dollar is not as valued as you think it is.
Yes, that part. It's also kind of hard for us to like get to those positions.
Yeah, I feel like doors are constantly closed. Speaking as a person that's a drag performer, the whole idea of being taken seriously has been something I've been preaching forever. People don't take what we do seriously. Even though it's so popular and it's more exposed than ever, people still look down on it and tip up their nose to it. Even gay people do in the media. They kind of like don't quite get why people are liking this art form.
Duke has an opinion. It's not about this movie, but
okay,
it is about Pamela Anderson.
Let's hear it, Duke.
Duke said, I will repeat. Are we pretending Barbed Wire isn't a cinematic masterpiece?
Here's the thing. I will constantly ride or die for Barbed Wire. I think it is, the Casablanca remake no one ever asked for, but I'm glad we got.
You know what? We should rewatch and put our opinions about it.
I did a video with Allison Pregler for her channel Movie Nights a long time ago, but I stand by it. Like, I feel like Had Pamela been given more room to grow as an actress, she could have gotten a lot better. I wouldn't have thrown her into a high impact action movie so quickly. But what else is being offered to her?
Well, I want to rewatch it now. I haven't seen it in so long that I want to see the cinematic masterpiece.
You're going to see the leaps and bounds she's made from this, The Last Showgirl. I think it's actually a pretty good movie to watch against, like a double feature.
Let's watch it.
Now, to get back on track with The Last Showgirl, as far as it goes, like different perspectives, like I definitely was open to myself. I didn't voice my opinions truly to a lot of my friends because I learned a lot of my friends really liked it.
Yeah, our friends loved it. We had another friend that's a Vegas local. They also loved it because I'm telling you, they're more involved in the show biz here in Las Vegas with shows longer than we have. I've only been doing it for like a few months, but I understood their point of view about what the showgirls have to go through in auditions, especially when it comes to ageism.
Yeah.
You do see that in this film. It is a topic that is touched upon that she can no longer get that showgirl work because of her age.
Well, even that, it's just like she also was, like I said, being a little pious when it came to it because she was tipping up her nose a lot to like a lot of the newer shows where it's a little bit more risque and girls are showing a lot more skin. And when you think about the show, it was like actually inspired by Jubilee. It's kind of a marvel that's not really around anymore because a lot of those women, like Pamela's age, were in that show. Like women in their 50s, upwards to like their 60s, were still performing in it and taking their clothes off and being like showcases like these glamorous like women. So we don't really have that anymore.
And I guess this is where I kind of am okay with the new shows because we were talking to our friend and he was just like, he is older, by the way. And he was like talking about reminiscing about how the showgirls used to be. They're like, there used to be a certain criteria for you to become a showgirl. You have to be like this tall, your waist this small, your chest this big. And I'm like, this is where I kind of like the modern take of a showgirl because it's just not a certain body type.
It's more about athleticism and dancing now, which I think is a little bit more important in the eyes of like how long can these girls go for? Are they good dancers? Like, can they handle the heavy workload? It's not so much about the outward cosmetics of it all. It's more about the technique now.
Well, also, I feel like maybe they were asking women to like change up their body just to become a showgirl, which I'm like, I'm glad that's not it anymore.
Yeah, like especially like weight standards, which I learned about from living here. Like there are weight like limits you have in certain jobs.
There's still like some weight limits and vanity standards, I should say, that when it comes to shows here in Las Vegas or even jobs. Some jobs, like some waitressing jobs, you have to learn a certain way. There's auditions for waitressing jobs, bartending jobs. You have to be in some sort of physique in order to work at these high-end clubs.
Which, shockingly enough, this film actually touched upon, which I haven't really seen showcased a lot in media. Jamie Lee Curtis's character plays, her job is a bevertainer, which I learned from watching interviews with the show, even being a Vegas local, I didn't know about this. Apparently, that's something casinos started to skirt unions when the waitresses unionized. So they created a whole new position to where they're not a waitress anymore. They're a bevertainer, and they're also required to like get up on a stage, like a little go-go box, and do a number. And that's what keeps them from having to like pay a fairer wage and all the other stuff that comes along with that. Which I thought was like, I always forget just how crooked some things in Las Vegas can be. Like they will go through anything to get away from doing the right thing just to make sure they make the most money.
That's showbiz, baby.
And like it showed, I guess, like it's portrayed in a way that you laugh a little bit at it. Like watching it again, it's just like, okay, I can see this is definitely a woman that loved performing and this is the only outlet she has anymore, which is really sad to think about, but it's also just like kind of limiting your range. Like if you're that age, you could still do burlesque, you could still do all these other things to like get that like spark still burning.
Probably not mainstream though.
No.
Like she was trying to audition for other shows in the movie, but it's just because of her age. And then one of the casting agents actually just flat out told her that she's too old.
Well, not even that. He like also read her down. He read her backwards and forwards, saying like, "Look, like I'm sure what you're doing worked for whatever show you're in, but you lack technique and you lack like any kind of like real rhythm skills that comes with actual legitimate dancing." Which is like, damn. I mean, he wasn't wrong.
He kind of went in on her.
He read her backwards and forwards, and it's like, look, honey, like what you have worked for this, but it ain't gonna work everywhere else.
I mean, when you do see a lot of Las Vegas shows here now, it's a lot of you have to be really flexible. You have to have some sort of talent that's going to make you stand out for everybody else, or you have to be like a really good dancer.
Yeah, like it's all about the bottom line of like what they think is going to make them the most money and what they can exploit the best to like benefit their dollar bill at the end of the line. So it doesn't matter like how charismatic you are as long as you like make them money. That's the most important thing. And they don't see someone of that age making them any money anymore, which is really sad.
That's all like, I feel like that's a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
But yeah, to keep it.
Well, in show business especially, it's always coming back down to that. That's why so many women and female actresses complain that after a certain age, there's no more work.
But to keep it a little more lighthearted, I want to talk about something.
What's that?
Girl, Batista was slaying in that human hair wig, that human hair unit. He was, I was like, I was living. It was like slick back, gray, layered.
He looked like every greasy like tech guy I've ever encountered here in Las Vegas. Like they really embodied that. He embodied it down, even down to like the big muscular physique. Because believe it or not, like even the guys working in tech are usually like former bodybuilders, or like they hobby in something. Like they're all huge people. Everyone's show people.
But have you guys seen the movie? Were you living for Batista's wig? I was. The whole time I was like, oh girl, that wig is laid.
Oh, no. It's on a man, so it's a hair system.
A hair system. But also, I heard, this is a rumor, I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't really look into it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard that Pamela Anderson was wearing prosthetics for this film.
Really? You heard that? I didn't hear that anywhere. Where'd you hear that?
I was wearing boob prosthetics.
Oh. Huh.
I heard that from you.
I didn't say that about this movie.
Yeah, you did.
Not this movie. I didn't say she was wearing prosthetics.
Someone Google it.
I know the girl in The Substance was wearing a prosthetic boobs.
Let me Google it right now. Oh, I guess I started the rumor.
I think you just imagined that. I think like if you get tunnel vision with different things I was talking about.
Oh, you know what? The girl that played Pamela in the Hulu series was wearing prosthetics.
She wore prosthetics. Really, Jaymes? Yeah, she was wearing fake boobs.
AI overview over here saying, no, Pamela Anderson did not wear prosthetics in her role as Shelley in the movie The Last Showgirl. Anderson has been a proponent of the fresh-faced movement and has gone viral for her makeup-free philosophy. She told the cast of The Last Showgirl that her character wouldn't have time for makeup. What are the sources, though, AI? What are the sources?
What are the sources?
People magazine, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, not gonna lie, showgirls, they do have time to put makeup on if they're in a show. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, you come early and you put your makeup on. That's like a thing. They do wear makeup. And she was wearing makeup in the movie.
I know, she was.
It wasn't good makeup, but she was wearing it.
I was like, she doesn't take care of her daughter in the movie, so what else is she doing that she doesn't have any time to put on makeup?
Yeah, what are you doing in the show besides wearing heavy wings that you keep fucking ripping?
Right, and you're definitely not learning you're not learning any choreography because all you do is just stand around and walk around. So,
I mean, let's go in on it if we're going to go in on it. But it's like, there are specific things I'm just like, I could see why this show closed.
Yeah, because especially, as a viewer, I was watching the movie and like, is this a show? This is kind of lame. All they're doing is just walking around and showing the outfit. There's no dancing. I was like, I would be so bored. So what? Am I supposed to be amazed by the rhinestone?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like these Bob Mackie costumes. Like, I love Bob Mackie to death, but it's just like, if I'm just watching an extended runway show of, skimpy like showgirl costumes, I'd rather just watch a drag show and see them in action.
You see, this is where I was with the daughter. I'm like, this is what took you away from me? This show? Because I would have been like, oh, look, see, I'm putting myself in the daughter's shoes, okay? This is my moment. I'm over here bitter the house because my mom doesn't spend any time with me. And I'm like, oh, you know what? This show must be sickening because she pays no attention to me. So let me go see the show. Let me see how sickening this is. I go there and it's a whack ass show. I'll be mad as hell too.
Here's the thing though. Like, this is where like the writing was like kind of hitting a wall with me. Cause like I was watching, it's just like, I know women that were showgirls that have children. And it's like, bitch, you're working from like 8 o'clock to like maybe like 4 a.m. when you finally get out of it, like get everything done. You have a whole day free. Like you have a whole day free.
Especially since she doesn't
have Sundays and Mondays off.
Especially since she doesn't have any other jobs.
Like, how in the world did she not have time to ever see this daughter? It's what I was trying to ask myself. Like, why are you so mad? Like, I'm sure she was around sometime. And also, it's like showbiz kids, like especially in this. Like, I don't believe that the daughter's storyline. Like, it feels like it was kind of like heightened and invented to like create plot for this movie. Because like, there's no freaking way. Like, she never had time for you.
I believe the daughter storyline. That's why.
Well, we know she wasn't rehearsing or in dance classes. Where the fuck was the mom?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I was watching the show. I'm like, so you have no time for me? You obviously haven't been learning any choreo. You don't make the outfits. You didn't even do your hair for this show. So what's going on? Why are you not paying attention to me?
Well, after sitting in the movie with her daughter kind of sucks. So I can see why she didn't want to spend time with her.
I'm team daughter.
I'm not.
Comment down below if you're team daughter.
She can keep hitchhiking all throughout Vegas in those weird ass spots, walking around meandering with no meaning. Yeah, I don't care. I was not on the daughter side whatsoever. It's like, oh, shut up. At least your mom has a job in a fucking house. Calm down.
That's the part. Okay, maybe the real tea. Let's spill the real tea. I think the real tea is she's mad because maybe this show was a high paying gig.
Yeah.
Because look, that's her only job, right? But she had a car. A Mustang, I think.
Mm-hmm.
She had a car and a house. And all she did was this show. They didn't say she had OnlyFans on the side or anything. They just said it was just this show. So maybe that's why she's really mad. That's why she's really sad. I'll be sad too if I just had to go in for a couple hours, walk around, and then I have a house and a car and a phone.
Yeah, she had like little Vegas house, probably had a pool, kind of money. Or at least a backyard. Like, it was a house in Vegas. She had it. I was like, girl, figure your shit out. She kind of reminded, like Shelly, the character Pamela Anderson was playing. She kind of reminded me of those mobile ads. Like, you see that one woman where she's like in the freezing cold and the house is falling apart, and like her little kid is like freezing to death, and the house is falling apart around her, and all you see is like the wrong decisions being made. That's who she was. She was the equivalent of that mobile ad girl, or that girl that's covered in mud. It's like, let me get a horrible makeover. Like, all the wrong decisions are being made.
Also, this is going to be a spoiler alert. Wait, hold on. Where's the echo up in here? Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Batista in this movie is Pamela Anderson's daughter's father.
Yeah. They just kind of dropped that off the cuff.
So that's why I'm team daughter. She's really mad. She didn't grow up with her dad. She didn't grow up with her mom. So she's mad as hell. And I feel that rage.
A lot of like weight on Pamela. Where was this whack ass dad that was at the job the whole time, not spending any time with her? Like, why are you not involved in her life?
That's what she only has one person to direct her anger to, and that's the mom.
I don't know. Try therapy. That's what I say. You crunchy bitch.
She can't afford therapy, okay? The mom didn't save up.
That's her fucking fault.
The mom didn't save up money for her college fund.
Girl, she had a house and I'm sure she had goals. She could figure her shit out. She's just as bad if you ask me.
I know there's plenty.
Stop blaming your fucking problems on everyone else around you.
I know there's plenty of North American kids out here that blame their parents for everything. Comment down below. Are you one of them? Type in number 5.
If the root of all your problems, your parents, you can never get past that. They ruined everything for you. Okay.
Type the number 5 if that's you. All right, let's look at the chat. Maybe they have an opinion. Okay, Duke has an opinion on this. Always hate kids in movies. Who whines about their parents when they live in a mansion? LOL, not relatable.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, she wasn't like living high and mighty, but she had a nice little clutch house that was like well furnished. And it looked like she had carved out a cozy little life for herself.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that Shelly's character was never around. It was just like, I feel like she probably was. It probably just wasn't to the extent, or like it didn't live up to like this nuclear family expectation that you think you deserve.
I think that was the point of the daughter's character, is she probably thought she deserved more than what she has, and she's taking her anger out on her mother.
To which I say, try therapy. Try that out.
She can't afford therapy. In this economy?
Get better help. There's apps, okay? Use someone's code.
In this economy?
Use a fucking coupon code and get some better help, girl. Even better, call a hotline. If you get the right person, they'll sit on there and talk with you. They're bored.
Girl, start live streaming. That was my therapy.
Not even call up Domino's and just see if you can get them to talk to you for an hour. Or even, it also felt like, you know, the Jasmine Masters meeting with the daughter. It's just like, or even the mom. It's like, hello, Taco Bell, are you hiring? I would like to fill out the application.
Girl, get character AI.
Right. Oh my God, yes. Make a mom through there. Generate a mom through character
Make your
AI.
own mom. If you don't like your mom, make your own mom. Where were we going? We kind of got distracted about the daughter.
She pissed me off. She really did. I didn't like her.
I think if they make another movie like this, I think it should be the story of Jamie Lee Curtis's character?
I don't know. I don't think her character had much legs either. She was well where she belonged. I think Shelley just needed better writing.
She needed a prequel. Honestly, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, I think she needs a prequel. How did she get there? Was she
Her illustrious career as a showgirl?
Yeah, was she a showgirl, then aged out and became a bartender? Because she also
that was the story they told us.
She was also given a show. That's what I'm saying. I want the prequel.
Okay.
I want to see the prequel. Like, I think she needs the prequel. I think it'll be much more interesting because she somehow managed to make it through after her show closed.
I mean, she was in mountains of debt and a gambler that couldn't keep a roof over her head and ended up sleeping on her couch. So, I mean...
How did she end up there? I need to know.
I'm pretty sure we could, like, just jot it down on a napkin and figure that out. We don't need a whole movie.
But yeah, do you have any final thoughts on The Last Showgirl? I can't wait for it to come out to streaming. I won't pay for it to go back in the theaters. I will wait till it's on streaming. I already pay for some services to watch it, so I'm trying to figure out where it's going to be. Or I'll even rent it. I like Pamela. I semi-like this movie, but I also semi-don't. But I like you, so I will pay for the movie. I'll probably even buy it, like a hard copy. If they make do they even make hard copy movies anymore? I've been streaming so long that I don't even know.
I mean, I'm sure it'll get picked up by a big distributor to, like, get taken, like, put on DVD and all that. But also, it's like, as far as my thoughts go, did I like it at first glance? No. Did I enjoy the idea of Pamela Anderson getting something of substance to do? Yes. And I'm glad that it's leading to more work. Like, as far as I know, she's making like 4 more movies after this now that are coming out. So her career's been revived.
I'm glad. It seems like we hated on this movie. Did we hate on it? I
don't think we hated on it. We were just pointing out the flaws that were kind of glaring there. Like, you could drive a semi-truck through a lot of them.
But yeah. It is a movie that I will watch again. We only watched it once, and that was like a month ago.
Yeah.
But this is how we've been feeling this whole month.
We've been talking about it, so it made its impression on us. Like, it's stuck around in our minds.
Am I sad that she didn't get her Golden Globe? Yes. I also didn't watch any other movies that were in competition to her.
No.
But I'm hoping that maybe this is a stepping stone for you to get like better scripts and, just show off your acting chops, because she was on Broadway or off Broadway?
She was on Broadway.
Yeah, she was on Broadway as well. So she's been putting in the work with her acting skills. I'm ready to see them.
Yeah, and like this harp on this is like don't get me wrong, Pamela Anderson is a very good actress in this. It's just a lot of the material, if you've seen a lot of movies and you've seen a lot of dramatic movies, the material is a little weak. It's a bit weak. It needed some rewriting and it needed a little bit more structure. But she's giving the best performance of what she's given.
Long story short, for a review is we love the acting. It's just the writing that kind of sucked. I need more writing. But okay, I do want to talk about something. I heard Vegas Locals talk about this, or maybe am I making this up again? In The Last Showgirl, were they using some Jubilee costumes or no?
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
They're the actual Jubilee costumes from the show, the ones that Dita Von Teese revived for her show here.
But which I have yet to see, but I do want to go see it.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of them are still like being used for her new circle. She's at a new place, so we'll go. All
right, let us know. Comment down below. Do you have any opinions on The Last Showgirl? Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Comment down below. The video podcast will be available on Jaymes Mansfield's 2 YouTube channel and also Spotify. You could also listen to it on Apple Podcasts.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for listening, and until next time.
Bye. Bye.